collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Leader Class Dinobot Swoop from the Transformers Studio Series 86 line from Hasbro. So of course this is our fifth and final Dinobot, finally completing the team. Very happy to finally have Swoop here. Of course is from his appearance in the 1986 cinematic masterpiece Transformers the Movie. Packaging, pretty standard for this. Still have the Widow cut out here. So you can see the figure inside. Nice artwork of Swoop in Dino mode here on the front. Close-up of the Dino mode over here on the side. I think it's funny that they're just ignoring the robot mode, just really focusing on the Dino mode. Now, some people say it's a pterodactyl. Some people say it's a pteranodon. I don't know, so I'll just call it Dino mode. Here we have the Transformers the Movie logo there on top. Not really anything going on the bottom. And spinning it around to the back, we have some nice product shots of the robot mode and the Dino mode. And you can see he comes with two swords, which is nice. We'll get more into that a little bit later on. And then they have the little backdrop down here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get Swoop out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here is Swoop in the backdrop that is included. They opted to go with this kind of Autobot City battle scene that they've used before. We've seen this with Ultra Magnus and a few others. I feel like they could have also maybe done Quintessa, probably the two big scenes for the Dinobots. They opted for this one, I think, probably just because they had it already. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, he fits nicely in the space, and it's a decent little backdrop, so pretty cool. So taking a closer look at Swoop out of the packaging, I think he looks great. They did a really nice job here. Swoop's always been a little simplistic, especially compared to the other Dinobots, but still looks absolutely fantastic here. I love the blue for the chest. The gold for the head of the Dino looks great. You can see the blue eyes painted there. Really nice Autobot symbol there. The head sculpt looks fantastic. Again, a little simple, but I still like it quite a bit. Really nice silver paint there for the face and the blue eyes. The head is on a crazy ball joint, so you can look down, look up, tilt side to side, spin side to side, no problems there. All of that works really well. Arms are a little, simplistic, just done in this gray plastic. Not really any painted detail there, but still a lot of molded detail and all of that. Some nice gold here on the thighs, and then you have the little Dino feet here, which kind of become the kneecaps. And then you have some nice gray down here, a little bit of red on the side. Feet are pretty basic. They did decide to give him blue heels. I'm not really sure why. I guess they just must have had the plastic on the sprue. I don't know. But yeah, from the back, again, looks pretty simplistic, but not a lot of kibble. So that's nice. Articulation-wise, we already went over the head. You can move the wings around pretty sufficiently, which is nice to kind of get them out of the way. You have a swivel here at the shoulder, really big hinge there, so nice range of motion there. Bicep swivel, got your elbow there, got a wrist swivel. You can kind of see where the hands are going to fold in, and it would have been nice if that could have been covered up, but at the end of the day, not a big deal. Does have a waist swivel, which is actually pretty nicely not impeded by the Dino beak hanging down there. Eventually it will hit into it, but you get a pretty nice range of motion there. It can kick really far forward and really far back until you start to hit into those wings. And then if we move the arm out of the way, kick really far out to the side as well. So great range of motion there in the hip. Got a thigh swivel. I would say a little over 90 degrees there in the knee. You do have the kind of Dino foot just kind of hang out there though when you use the knee. So just something to keep in mind. And then really nice ankle tilt. And then because of the transformation, you get a little bit of front to back with the toe as well. So I think the articulation is great. Really, really looks good. Of course, he does have some accessories as well. You have these two missile pods. You can pop these off if you want to pretend like these are being fired, which is nice. And you do get two identical ones of those, and I'm going to peg them onto the wings here to kind of complete his look. Now, if you like them there on the front, of course, there's one on each side. If you prefer the look on the back, you could put them back here as well. So whatever you prefer. I prefer them on the front, but if you like them better on the back, that is an option as well, which is nice. So there you go. He looks very good. Now he does come with two swords as well. This sword is very obviously Grimlock's sword, so I think they're just... I don't know why they haven't done swords from the beginning. I guess they just didn't think budget-wise it worked, so now they're kind of retroactively trying to go back and give us these swords. So this is Grimlock's sword, so we'll put that off to the side for now. This is Swoop's sword, so we'll go ahead and pop this in his hand, which works. And of course, you could always take one of these off and put these in the hand as well if you wanted to use as a gun. And I think it's nice, you can see how it's kind of like cut out there so that it can absolutely fit on, because the hands are far down, so they did think about that, which is nice. So he can still hold those. They are cut out to accommodate, not 100%, but enough that, you know, he can hold them. So I appreciate that. So he could dual wield these, one in the sword or just the sword, whatever you want. So that gives him some options there for weaponry. But yeah, overall, I think he looks absolutely fantastic. So a little difficult to do, but I wanted to get all 5 Dinobots together here in a group shot. They're just really massive, and obviously you can see Slag's hiding there behind Snarl, but he's there. So it's nice to finally have the full team together here. I've given Grimlock his sword here from Swoop, and then of course Snarl already has it. He did not come with any projectile weapons, but he did come with his sword. Now, the swords for Slag and Sludge are apparently packed in with the like Marvel Comics accurate version of Grimlock. So if you wanted to pick that release up, you could get the swords for all 5. I mean, personally, I don't need another Grimlock at this point. I have, you know, the main one. I have the Shattered Glass Triptychon color scheme one. I've got the Walmart Tiger Stripe one. I think there's a blue G2 one coming as well. So I feel like I'm good on Grimlock. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a fantastic mold. But I think I'm good. I also passed on the Godzilla one, just wasn't that impressive enough for me. But it's a great mold, but I already have like 3. I'll probably end up with 4. I didn't need 5 and 6. But it's kind of a shame that that's the only way to get the swords. It would have been nice if they threw them all in here with Swoop, or maybe did 2 with Snarl and 3 with Swoop, something like that, because Snarl didn't have any other accessories. But here we are. So you can get 3 out of 5 by just buying the releases. If you want Slag and Sludges, you have to get that other Grimlock. I don't know, maybe there's clearance one day. But again, either way, nice to have the whole team. It's awesome to see all 5 of them here together. Swoop's transformation is pretty simple, as you might expect. We're going to start by just folding the hands into the forearms. We saw those giant cutouts earlier on, so of course they're just going to swivel on in there. We're going to take the wings and kind of pop out this piece here to straighten them out, and then this piece here is going to flip around and peg in right here. So then we have the wings done. And honestly, it doesn't really matter the order in which you complete these steps. I'm just kind of going through it. What is going to happen is you can see that there are 2 spots here on the wings, kind of a peg and a connector here, and they are going to peg into the arms both here and here. But I'm not going to do it just yet, and I'll show you why in a moment. You're going to open up this little section here, and then this whole section is going to kind of come up, and the head is going to come down into that, and then this will kind of go down and peg into the top of the head, and that will allow you to bring the full dino head out. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to unhook the shoulders first. So open that up because it is pegged in to the sides of the head on these large circular areas where the pin is. So open up the shoulders and then bring this all the way up. Now, to me, this next part is the hardest part of the transformation, because you're going to collapse these in. And this is why I kind of like to just leave this all unpegged, because I like to be able to grab a hold of this section. So you have to kind of accordion these in, and they're supposed to peg into each other, but it's a really tight connection, and it takes a little bit of effort. I'm hoping it gets easier as I go. Oh, okay, it was really easy that time. The first time I could not get them. You heard that snap. I don't know if the peg was a little bit... When I tried to get it apart, which that's another interesting part later on when you have to snap this apart, I end up using... I just have this happen to be handy, and it just has like a way to get in between there to kind of pop them apart. But I'm hoping over time that will get a little bit less tight. I don't want it to get super untight, but just a little bit so that I can eventually make it a little bit easier to do that. But as you saw there, it actually snapped together pretty easy that time, so that was nice. So now you're going to kind of just drop... I'm going to straighten out the legs here. And if you have the ankle tilt engaged, straighten that all out as well. So bring the arms straight down. It doesn't really peg into the side in any way, but when you bring the wings in, it will snap in those 2 places, and that kind of keeps it together and in place, which is nice. So pop that on there. Then you're going to kind of rock back the whole section, kind of like an unintentional butterfly joint. It's not really super usable in the robot mode, which is why I didn't show it off, but I guess technically if you want to use it as a butterfly joint, you can. But it just gives it the slightest angle just to make it look like he's mid-flight. And of course, you can open the mouth if you want, and then you're going to kind of just bring this piece down just to kind of fill in this gap here, just so it doesn't look super noticeable. But then, as you also might expect, these legs are going to transform pretty simply. So we're going to fold the heels in just like this, and then just rotate the feet down, and then we'll spin them around, and then they're just going to come up here. And you can see that there is a large spot right there, which is going to tab on right there. So you just bring these up and pop it on here, like so. And then you can just pop up the little dino feet. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is Swoop in Dino mode. So here is Swoop in Dino mode. I think he looks pretty good. I mean, like I said, the transformation is very much indicative of like the original toy and how he transformed on the show. It's always been kind of a basic transformation, but I think that's fine. I think the dino head looks fantastic. You can open the mouth really wide. There's a spot for a effect piece to peg in there, which is really cool. You got a nice range of motion, kind of bring this all the way up and down. You can also kind of spin it on this hinge here, so you have some nice movement there. Technically, if you want, you can move the wings here on this joint. Really nice Autobot symbols here. Nice silver paint for the wings. Those look great. You have the little feet, so if you want, you can bring the head forward like this and have him stand on the little feet, which I think looks really goofy and ridiculous, but I kind of love it. Also, we'll bring the missile pods back in, so if you want, you could put one here, or you could use those. I kind of like to bring it out a little bit more, but whichever one you like. Here, we'll do one of each just to show for aesthetics purposes, and bring the head back up. So, whichever one you like better. If you like it a little bit more out to the side, you like it a little bit closer in. Honestly, both look good. I think personally I just like it a little bit more out to the side, so I like to use this one here. But yeah, he looks good. Now the directions show that you can also store the sword here on the side, which you can. You could, use the other one as well, but I just think that takes away from the look, so personally I don't like to do that. But yeah, he looks great in Dino mode here. Let me open the mouth a little bit more. There we go. I think Swoop came out great. I think the robot mode looks fantastic. Dino mode looks really good. Also, in the last shot, I realized I didn't have one of his wings flipped out just now, so apologies for that, but you get the idea. But it's a great looking Dino mode. Transformation's a little basic, but, I feel like that's always been Swoop's kind of MO. Just swing the legs on the back, flip out the wings, put the arms at his sides. That's just how he goes. But it's perfectly fine. I think they did a really nice job. Paint applications look great. Accessories are cool. Head sculpt's fantastic. Both modes look really good. The whole sword thing is a little weird to me. I wish each character just came packed with his gun and a sword from the beginning. But what are you going to do? But yeah, he looks really, really cool. Like I said, definitely happy to have the full team here. I'm really glad they decided to do them all as leader class. I feel like for a time there was a rumor that Swoop was going to be a little bit smaller. And I'm glad they didn't do that. I just like to have all 5 of them as leaders. Uniform, they look great. Really, really happy to have the full team here, and I think the Studio Series 86 line was the perfect place to do it. So definitely recommend picking up Swoop, especially if you have the rest. He's a little bit harder to find now at this point. I think I got mine on Amazon. Just kind of keep watching the listing. Hasbro Pulse might get him again. So just kind of keep checking around if you can't find him, but definitely think he's worth adding to the collection, especially if you have the others. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.